Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking a truly fascinating transformation. We're going to explore exactly how matcha, that finely milled green tea that's been a revered traditional staple in Japanese tea ceremonies for literally centuries, has absolutely exploded into a multi-billion-dollar global commodity. I want you to think about your local neighborhood for a second. Have you noticed the world turning green? And no, I don't just mean the trees. Think about your local cafes, the aisles of your neighborhood pharmacy, or even the premium skincare section at your favorite department store. Suddenly, they're all just filled with this vibrant, bright green powder and an endless array of matcha-infused products. So why is this ancient ingredient suddenly everywhere, all at once?
Well, the numbers tell an incredible story. Based on extensive market research looking ahead to 2031, the global matcha tea market is projecting a massive 8% compound annual growth rate. Basically, it's compounding and expanding year over year. And in the world of agricultural commodities, an 8% sustained growth rate over a decade is, well, it's colossal. What you should really take away from this is that matcha has officially graduated. It's no longer just a niche hobby for specialty tea aficionados. No, it cemented itself as a structural, highly lucrative pillar of the modern wellness economy, driving billions of dollars in new value all around the globe.
Section 1. Fueling Wellness, Consumer Health Trends. Let's be honest, the modern consumer is, quite frankly, stressed out and highly health conscious. People are actively seeking out functional beverages, things they can consume that do a specific, measurable job for their body. And matcha, it checks all those boxes in a really unique biochemical way. First off, you have incredibly high antioxidant levels, specifically compounds known to aid in cellular health and metabolism stimulation. But perhaps the most unique part is L-theanine. This is a fascinating amino acid that promotes what scientists actually call relaxed alertness. See, when L-theanine interacts with the natural caffeine found in the tea, it actually slows down your body's absorption of that caffeine. So instead of that jittery, anxious spike and the inevitable midday crash you might get from a standard cup of coffee, matcha offers this sustained, calm energy release. It perfectly positions matcha as the ultimate functional superfood for our current high-stress era. To understand just how far this functional marketing has gone, let's look at a real-world example from a company called Bolt Pharmacy over in the UK. They are literally marketing matcha pills for weight loss as a dedicated supplement, putting it right alongside serious pharmaceutical weight management products. I mean, it's pretty wild to realize that an ingredient once exclusively reserved for quiet, mindful Japanese tea ceremonies has been commodified to this extent. We've completely shifted matcha out of a warm beverage format and distilled its core chemical components down into a metabolism-boosting, functional pill optimized for the modern pharmacy shelf.
Section 2. Beyond the teacup, market diversification.
What we're seeing right now is a dual market, a fascinating juxtaposition between two completely different worlds. On one hand, we have the ceremonial grade. This represents the premium, ancient preparation. It demands specialized tools, like a bamboo whisk, a slow, deliberate pace, and it delivers an authentic, rich umami taste without any sweeteners. But simultaneously, we have the additive and culinary boom. This space is fast-paced, highly diversified, and hyper-modern. We're talking ready-to-drink iced lattes packed with alternative milks, protein bars, facial cosmetics, and, of course, those weight loss pills we just talked about. It takes an ancient ritual and breaks it apart into a convenient, on-the-go wellness solution for the busy consumer who wants the health benefits without the time commitment. Both of these markets are growing side by side, but they serve completely different consumer lifestyles.
Section 3. Global hotspots, regional expansion.
The regional nuances of this boom are just captivating. Over in the US and Germany, the demand is heavily driven by a culture of convenience and natural health hacking. Think ready-to-drink cold brews, canned sparkling matcha, and functional energy teas. Meanwhile, in India, a younger Gen Z demographic is adopting matcha, but because of the hotter climate there, they're embracing it entirely cold, blending it into nutritional smoothies and upscale mocktails. And on the supply side, the shifts are just as massive. China, which is already a historic green tea producing powerhouse, is heavily investing in state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities to scale up production and capture this global wave. And Japan, the historic heartland of matcha, well, they're facing a really complex dual challenge. They're aggressively trying to scale their agricultural output to meet this insatiable global demand, while desperately trying to preserve the deep authenticity and premium quality of their historic, revered ceremonial grades. Section 4. Industry Challenges, Future Outlook. Now, of course, this explosive growth brings a distinct set of hurdles. First up, we have high price volatility. See, authentic matcha isn't just regular green tea leaves tossed in a blender. It requires a highly specialized, really labor-intensive process where the tea plants are actually shaded from direct sunlight for weeks before the harvest. This stresses the plant just enough to drastically boost its chlorophyll and L-theanine levels. After careful handpicking, the leaves have to be slowly stone ground to avoid burning them. All of this makes authentic matcha inherently expensive to produce and highly vulnerable to poor harvest yields. Second, and perhaps most dangerously for the industry, is authenticity and adulteration. Because the global demand is so high right now and the genuine process is so slow, there's a massive financial incentive to just grind up cheap, inferior green tea and sell it as premium matcha. And third, there is a severe limitation in consumer education outside of the major markets. Think about it. If a first-time consumer buys fake, fiercely bitter matcha and doesn't know how to prepare it properly, they'll likely never try the real thing again.
Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought. As matcha continues to sprint from a revered ancient ceremony into a daily mass-market supplement, is its premium soul at risk of being completely lost in translation? Or is this simply the ultimate evolution of a superfood reaching its absolute maximum global potential? It's a fascinating tension within the market, right? Balancing tradition with unprecedented commercial scale. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this structured breakdown leaves you eager to notice the shifting matcha landscape the very next time you walk down the skincare aisle or step into your local cafe. Until next time, keep learning and keep observing.